So, Modern Warfare 2 is in serious trouble, and I briefly spoke about this topic in a previous video, but I've done some more in-depth research, and at this current time, I don't have a clue who is to blame for this, but there are multiple maps that are in the firing line to be removed from the game, and they are all there potentially due to legal issues with essentially copyright. So when it comes to video games, you can create stuff off your own back, or you can take inspiration from real life places. And during the beta, there was a museum map which never made it to the full release of the game. There were supposed to be 11 maps at launch. The game launched with only 10 because the museum map was permanently removed from the game due to issues with whatever, and that's the most confusing one. And just quickly before we jump into it any further, if you are looking to pick up cheap games, you want to get Modern Warfare 2 cheap, there is a link in the description that will take you through the CD keys. They're fast, they're reliable, they're cheap, and by using the link in the description, you'll also be directly supporting the channel at the same time. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like on it. All support on the channel is greatly appreciated. And let's jump into the actual meat of this big problem in Modern Warfare 2. So the museum map was removed. I don't necessarily think it's for the same reason that the hotel is possibly more than likely going to be removed from the game. So in the beta, there was a museum map. In the full game, there isn't. This museum is based on a real-life location called Getty Museum. I think it's also known as Getty Center. It's in Brentwood, LA, and it's been removed from this game. I don't think it's due to this game being violent. The people that own the Getty Museum don't want violence being shown around their location. It's private property, all that sort of stuff. I don't think it's to do with that. Just based on the Getty Center, even though it might not be as close to the real-life museum or whatever, the Getty Center exists in GTA 5. And I think that game's got way more violence than Modern Warfare 2. So it's a little bit confusing with that one. With Crown Raceway, that was supposed to make its way into the beta, but it was never seen. It was going to be named a totally different name. It was going to be involved with the Grand Prix. But I think because there's violence in Call of Duty, they didn't like it. And all that's happened with that map is the name of it's been changed and all of the advertisement boards and stuff in the map have been changed. So it's all now based around Crown Raceway. But is that enough? Because it's still exactly the same layout and everything. And I think if Activision and Infinity Ward are not careful, there could be more issues with that map. So with the museum map and with Crown Raceway, we are looking at two maps being removed from the game. The museum's already gone. But there is a possibility at some point the Crown Raceway might be removed. And then jumping into the main one, and that map is Breenberg Hotel. This has been causing nothing but problems for the game, and I don't understand what's happening with it because there's been talks of legal action being taken, but at the same time, Infinity Ward put out an update for the game and they added the Breenberg Hotel map to third-person playlists. For those of you unaware, the Breenberg Hotel map in Modern Warfare 2 is based on the Conservatorium Hotel in Amsterdam. And it's another thing where the people that actually own the property, the private property, they don't like the fact that their property is in a violent video game. I don't know where the issues are coming from because the game took 3 years to develop. There were 3,000 people working on it. Activision, Infinity Ward, whoever deals with the money side of things, they put a lot of money into this project. I think it is mainly their fault because they should have got clearance to create these maps and put them into the game. So I think the person that's in charge of the legal side of it, like passing money over for licenses and things like that, I think everything in this game has been incredibly fucking lazy. And I think it's stupid to have a AAA title from a multi-billion-dollar company. I think it's stupid that they haven't gone out and purchased the rights to actually use stuff in the game. If you have a look at weapons in this game, you don't even have AKs, you don't have a SCAR. You've got the TAC-56, you've got cast-off weapons. There is nothing off the top of my head that's really been licensed. Like, yeah, you've got an M16, you've got an M4, but then you've got the Lockman 556. You've got the STB 556, which I believe is an AUG. Then you've also got the Vel 46, I think that's an MP7. You've got the Lockman sub, I think that's an MP5. You've also got the Kastov 74U, I think that's an AK-74U. They haven't got licensing for anything in this game. So I don't know why this is an issue, but at the same time, if it is, at least for the museum map, if it is because there's violence in the game, why have they not done the same thing with GTA 5? It's all very confusing when it comes to this, but there has been talks, I don't know if it's 100%, don't set this in stone, but there is a possibility when Season 1 launches, the Greenberg Hotel will be removed from the game. If that's the case, and if Crown Raceway get removed, that will mean this game, without any seasonal maps or whatever, out of the 11 maps the game was supposed to launch with, the game will only have 8. There will be 3 removed due to licensing issues and copyright, or like basically just setting real life locations in a violent video game where private property owners don't want that. But there is also something that happens in this world. When people see easy money, they try and take it. As an example, with people stealing the codes off the Jack Link's beef jerky for the ghillie suit and selling them on eBay. When it's easy money, people will take it. When it comes to buying the current gen consoles now, they were next gen at the time, the Xbox Series X and the PS5. People were pre-ordering those, they were paying £450 or whatever, and they were selling them on eBay for £1,000. There were graphics cards for PCs being bought at £1,000 and sold for £5. There's been stupid stuff with scalpers, they find easy money, they take it, but that's also the same for companies. When it comes to games like first-person shooters like Call of Duty, they release all these £24 skins, and you can't even see your fucking character. So is it the case of Activision and Infinity Ward not sorting out the legal side, not sorting out the licenses? Or is this that they didn't actually really need them, they've had them in their archives or like something like that, and these companies, these private property owners have seen that it's a game company that's put this in their game, and they have a chance at a lawsuit to make some easy money. If Activision have a problem with Greenberg Hotel, the property owner doesn't want it in the game, Activision have the funds to just say, here you go, here's 100 million, leave us the fuck alone. They have the money to pay out whatever they want. They are a big, big company. So I'm torn between, is it Activision and Infinity Ward, or is it the property owners that are just being a little bit too fussy? Because you've got to think of it from both sides of it. You've got a real life location in your game, and for the property owner, that's not actually going to add more violence to your hotel. That's, if anything, if someone plays the Call of Duty map Greenberg Hotel, they like it. If they go to Amsterdam, they might go, oh, fuck it, this hotel is in my favourite game of all time. I want to go book and a stay. I want to go pay to stay at this hotel. There could be positives for the company. Obviously, there's violence, there's guns and stuff. It does have a bad look, but it's a video game. I don't like the fact that people base violence on video games and stuff. I think that's a load of shit. I've played GTA since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, and I've never been more violent because of it. There might be some people out there that, yeah, it does affect, but I don't necessarily think it's down to the video game. And with these companies saying we're going to take legal action, someone could be like, oh, look at that, I had this map in Call of Duty is my favourite game, you're taking legal action, I'm going to come and cause shit for you. It's a double-edged sword. There's not a win-win from this situation, but it's an absolute mess for Modern Warfare 2, because the people that have sunk money into the game are missing out on maps to play on the game. You was promised something at the launch of the game, you haven't actually received a full product. And if these companies win, that's a lot of money that Activision have got to pay, or Infinity Ward have to pay. Money that wouldn't have needed to be paid if this was all sorted before the game come out. And it's not like, oh, it was a really short notice, I couldn't get through to their legal team and things like that. They had 3 fucking years to get this stuff sorted. And if it is Activision and Infinity Ward, what the fuck are you doing taking real life locations and not owning the rights to actually use them in your game? That would be like me or anyone else on YouTube just grabbing a video, adding absolutely nothing to it and claiming it as our own. It's just straight up theft. It's horrible. And for a big company, I know they're all about money. Of course they are. Most AAA companies are. But this is a dirty play. This is disgusting for a company to do, especially when this game's got a 2-year life cycle. And this isn't the developers' fault. The developers have worked their arse off, like trying to create everything for this game, and it's the people higher up, the ones that deal with the legal side of it, the ones that deal with the money, the licensing, all that sort of stuff. They've just gone and thrown Modern Warfare 2 in the shitter, because they don't care about anything. I think there's no licensing for the guns because they didn't want to pay for it. I think there's no licensing for some of the maps because they didn't want to pay for it. That's what I think's happening here. And it wouldn't surprise me if they find a way to do what I think EA's been doing for a long time and chuck a shitload of money into an offshore account and pretend the game hasn't made any profit so they don't have to pay fucking taxes. I mean, the process is probably a lot more complicated than that, but it's just an example of what these companies do. So it's absolutely baffling, but I've done some research. Getty Museum is in GTA 5, but it's not in Modern Warfare 2. And GTA 5 is as violent, if not more, maybe a little bit less or whatever. It's a violent game, very similar in terms of there's guns and stuff and you can shoot, and even if they've changed how it looks and everything, the museum is still there in GTA 5 and it's been taken out of Modern Warfare 2. The hotel, as I said, could be removed in Season 1. Not sure if it'll be at the start, later on, or something like that. I'm not even sure if it will be removed. But I've heard there's a possibility it's going to be removed in Season 1. And then we have Crown Raceway. The only thing that's changed is the advertisement boards. The layout and everything is exactly the same, so there could be trouble with that too. So out of the 11 launch maps for Modern Warfare 2, 3 of them are currently in the firing line for problems like towards Activision and Infinity Ward, which will screw over the people that worked hard to create the game and will fuck over the community that have spent their hard-earned money to purchase a product that doesn't have everything included. So big serious trouble for the companies and stuff involved, all the legal teams and stuff. But that is going to wrap up this one, so check out this video if you want to see other Modern Warfare 2 content on the channel. I will see you in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.